Alright everyone, right, something little bit different. Quick overview of my fighting fantasy book collection. Used to buy these as a kid. Me and a couple of mates are into these. It's by Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone. They're the guys that founded Games Workshop and Warhammer and all that. I was never much into that stuff. A couple of mates were, but I was into kind of, I don't know, different things. But I did like these books. Didn't typically play them properly as intended. I kind of read them like novels, or if I did play them, I tended to cheat quite a bit. But the premise is that you don't read it from front to back. You hop around. I think there's typically sort of 400 chapters, and you're sent all over the place just as you make decisions, as you branch off. So you hop around. You start by rolling. So the game engine is basically rolling dice and making decisions. So before you kick off, you roll the dice for your skill, for your stamina, and for your luck, and you record it in the box or on a separate sheet of paper, hopefully, because obviously fast forward all these years trying to buy some of these on eBay, and you've got to watch that if you're sort of bothered about buying books that have been written on and stuff, you need to make sure that you check the adventure sheet. But yeah, your scores are going to change and stuff, and this sheet varies depending on the book, because there are variations in like the story and the style and stuff like that. But yeah, so this is the first one. I think this came out in 1982, so it's a year older than me. So yeah, this is the one that started it all. I think there's one path through this one. You're basically a mercenary. You're there to kill enemies and win loot and stuff. So yeah, this is the first. This is one that kicks it all off. I did try and go back and start playing these properly, and I got sort of halfway through, and then I just found I got a bit stuck and I was going around in a loop. I've heard that does happen with this one, but never mind. To be honest, I probably will continue to read them like novels, just because I like the stories, I like the settings. I particularly like all the artwork as well. So this is number 2, Citadel of Chaos. I think the artist in the early books was Russ Nicholson. And typically with these books, it's always black and white. But yeah, this is, I think in this one, I've not read this one yet, but I think you're working your way through the book and you're going to fight a wizard. I think they've introduced a bit of magic into this one and use spells and stuff. So that's number 2. Next up is a popular one, and that is The Forest of Doom. I think this is a bit of an art. There's RPG elements in this one, from what I can gather, where you spend gold on equipment and abilities and stuff beforehand. So yeah, this one looks good, I've got to say. Yep, Forest of Doom. Next is number 5, and that is City of Thieves. City of Thieves. I think the artwork on this one is a little bit of a step up. This is a bloke called Ian McCraig. I just love the artwork. I love the settings, the atmosphere. Yeah, good stuff. I'm looking forward to reading that one. Next is House of Hell, which is number 10. Now this is a bit of a controversial one from what I've heard, and this has been newer editions of this book have been redone with some stuff taken out. I think there's, I don't know, satanic stuff and that in this book. which is a bit of a shame that they felt the need to meddle with it. Looks a little bit like Bobby Charlton, that bloke on the right. No offence, Sir Bob. Oh dear. So yeah, I'm not sure which artist this is. I think this is this is a different artist. Illustrations, yeah, Tim Cell. Not my favourite. Right, next is, now this is a bit of a departure, this one. So this is set in a post-apocalyptic sort of Fallout type setting with cars and guns and stuff. I think Mad Max 2 had just come out, so a bit of influence in there. The artwork's pretty shit in this one. It's all very basic, but I do like stuff in that sort of setting, so I'm going to give that a read. Whether I play these, looks a bit like Ed Gein, that guy. I will, whether I'll sort of read these or actually do attempt to play them, I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, that's number 13. That's Freeway Fighter. Right, next is Midnight Rogue, which is number 29. Yeah, a bit different. You're an apprentice in the Thieves Guild, and you want to find and steal a priceless gem. Alright. This is a Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone present. And the book's by Graham Davies. Graham Davis. So occasionally someone else did step in and do it. Yeah. It sounds good on the back. I think I'll definitely give this one a read. I'm just buying them as and when. Try not to break the bank on them. I don't know if I'm going to go for a full set. I think there's 60 odd. But it is these editions you want. If you see these out and about, it's this edition with the dragon above the author's name. So originally these are second edition up until some point in the sort of mid-20s, when they became first edition in this style, if that makes sense. And then there has been modern editions and stuff. I saw one the other day in where was I? Oxfam. It was like a modern edition of one of the books, and they'd marked the price up quite a bit, and I thought, nah, these ain't the valuable ones. These ain't the ones you sort of want to pay out for, unless you're not bothered about that sort of thing. You just want to give them a read, which is understandable. I've just got the nostalgia for this edition. So this is one of my original ones, a little bit battered. Vault of the Vampire. Now I think so. This is another Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone presents by Keith Martin, and my favourite is illustrator Martin McKenna. So it's in the same sort of black and white style, but just the level of detail with this guy. I was flicking through before I started filming, and I was quite upset to discover that I have cut bits out. I mean, you do get some of these recurring pieces of art, and I think I've cut a few out and used them as a lot for like a school art project or whatever back in the day. So I'm giving myself a slap for doing that. But yeah, just fucking love the artwork. I love the Martin McKenna artwork. Just look at that. This is one of my favourites, this book. I did used to read this one quite a bit. Got a wood golem there. Very much looks to me like that's styled on the Golem of Prague, which is cool. So yeah, that's Vault of the Vampire. This character does appear later on in the series, but I'll try and get through the next ones pretty quick. Right, these next two I was lucky enough to find in a second-hand book market, and they were £2 each. Now I saw these and I spotted these straight away, the green spines. Went over, picked them up, saw that they were the edition, this classic edition, the one I've got all the nostalgia for. Didn't think anything else of it, just took them straight up and handed over my £4. Got in the car and looked on eBay, and yeah, I was quite surprised to find that these are actually worth quite a bit. So I think these are, I don't know, around 30, 40 quid mark. Now I did know that some of these are creeping up in value. We'll come on to those ones. But I didn't expect these were. I should have known, because this one's number 55 and it is actually the later editions that are worth a few quid. So this was this was another childhood favourite. So this is Return to Firetop Mountain. So if you remember, number 1 was the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. And obviously for number 50 we've gone back. So I did read this one quite a bit as a kid. Just great artwork again. Just love the enemies. A lot of it's sort of based on mythology. You've got your classic stuff in there, your demons and vampires and ghosts and goblins and stuff. Yeah, great stuff. Who authored this one? Yeah, thought so. It's the man again, Martin McKenna. Yeah, it had to be. Next is number 51, which is Island of the Undead. This is where the books are starting to creep up in value. Any that you get in the 50s are worth a few quid. Oh, again, that is a shame, isn't it? That is a shame. I should... Well, I was going to say I should think about possibly upgrading some of these before the price gets really silly, but to be honest, I mean, this is my original book. It's got, you know, I've had this since primary school. Why bother? Right, 3 more, and then there's like a separate, slightly different book. So yeah, number 52, Night Dragon. Don't think I actually read this. It's quite a dense book, this one. I think I always kind of flicked through them and looked at the pictures and stuff. Used to get these from the local bookshop. Look at the detail in that picture. Used to get these from local bookshop, trade them with mates and stuff. I'm pretty sure some of these were my mates' books originally. We traded and we'd swapped and stuff. Yeah, this one is creeping up in price. Right, 2 more. Starting with number 56, Knights of Doom. I think again this is one that I didn't really pick up very much. Now the last one in my collection is number 58, Revenge of the Vampire. So it's our old mate again from number 38. So yeah, we're back taking him on. Now this is an expensive one. So I had a quick look on eBay before I started making this vid, and a few of these have sold in the last few months, and they've gone in similar condition, because it's not mint, but it's decent, and they've gone for around the 200 quid mark. So I'm just lucky that these got slung in a box, stuck in the loft, and not sort of messed with, not moved around a lot, and they've kind of, for the most part, apart from the ones I took into school, which are a bit battered, for the most part they're in good nick. And yeah, this one's quite a pricey one now. So some of these are by, say, it's Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone. Some of them Steve Jackson did by himself, some of them Ian Livingstone did by himself, and then there's some where like someone else has come in and written the story and stuff. But for the most part, this is the work of the two of them. And then last up, I've got this, and it's a bit of a sort of compendium of all the monsters and enemies and stuff that you'll face as you play through the books. Quite text heavy, this one, rather than sort of being particularly eye catching. But yeah, if you're into sort of looking a bit more into them, then they've done a series of books. There's another one that covers the sort of world that the books are set in, Port Black Sand and the wider world. And they have done some modern books as well, and they've done some novels. I think I wouldn't mind getting hold of some of the actual novels. So yeah, bags of nostalgia for these. On the lookout for a few more. And yeah, good to. Not that I'm not sure anyone's gonna sort of relate too much to these books. I know there's a couple. I've had conversations with Pedro from the Bootleggers, who's he used to play them, and he's got a nice little collection as well. So get over and have a look. If you want to know more about these books, I suggest looking up a YouTuber called Board Game Bollocks, which is a fucking cracking name for a YouTube channel. He's got a mad board game collection, but he's also reviewed all of the fighting fantasy books. Got a lot more information and knowledge about them than I have, so he's definitely worth checking out if you're at all interested. But yeah, that's it from me. Gonna leave it there. Nice one. Cheers.